Nayef bin Abdul-Aziz Al Saud, also spelled Naif and Naif, was the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia as well as first Deputy Prime Minister from 2011 to 2012. He was also Minister of Interior from 1975 to 2012. Early life and education. Nayef bin Abdul-Aziz was born in Taif in 1934 to Ibn Saud and Hassa bint Ahmed al-Sudari, making him one of the Sudari Seven. He was the 23rd son of King Abdulaziz. Prince Naif received education at Prince's School and from senior ulama. Additionally, he was educated in diplomacy and security affairs. Early experience. From 1952 to 1953, Prince Naif served as Vice-Governor of Riyadh Province. In 1953, he was appointed as the Governor of Riyadh Province. He stayed in this post for 1 year. Then he served as governor of Medina Province. In 1970, King Faisal appointed him to both Deputy Interior Minister and Minister of State for Internal Affairs. Minister of Interior. In March 1975, after King Faisal's assassination, then Minister of Interior Prince Fahd became the Crown Prince and Prince Naif was appointed as the Minister of Interior by King Khalid. Timeline. In December 1994, he ordered hundreds of terrorism-related arrests with the support of Prince Turki, head of Saudi intelligence services. In April 2001, he, not Foreign Minister Saud al-Faisal, went to Iran as Saudi envoy in an unprecedented move. He issued all women in Saudi Arabia identity cards. Women were previously registered under the husband's or father's name in November 2001. After the September 11 attacks, as the man in charge of the Saudi investigation, he received U.S. criticism for his continuing to insist that the Saudi hijackers were dupes in a Zionist plot for over a year after 9/11, and for not undertaking sufficient action against extremists. In 2003, Prince Naif, who was in charge of foreign labor, decreed that foreign workers and their family members should not exceed 20% of the Saudi population in 2013. Senator Charles Schumer lobbied, through Prince Bandar, to remove Prince Naif as Minister of Interior in July 2003. Between 2003 and 2006, he led Saudi Arabia's confrontation against al-Qaeda, which sponsored a series of domestic attacks on expatriate housing compounds, oil infrastructure, and industrial facilities. His political stance was strengthened because of increased media exposure and the successful end to terrorist attacks. In March 2011, during the 2011 Saudi Arabian protests, 200 people who called for more information on their imprisoned relatives were denied a meeting with Naif, second Deputy Prime Minister, since Crown Prince Sultan could not deal with demanding duties due to his extended absences for treatment, and King Abdullah was about to travel to Doha to attend the League of Arab States summit before going to London for the G20 summit. It was imperative to leave a senior official in charge, which added burdens to the leukemia-suffering 76-year-old Naif. Therefore, on the 27th of March 2009, Prince Naif became second Deputy Prime Minister. His appointment caused a rare public split in the royal family. Prince Talal asked the king to clarify that the appointment did not necessarily mean that Naif would become crown prince. His appointment as second deputy prime minister expanded Prince Naif's influence into all corners of Saudi domestic policy and allowed him to participate in the development of foreign policy. He was not expected to interfere in economic matters but to influence the judiciary. Prince Naif chaired many cabinet meetings when King Abdullah and Crown Prince Sultan were away for health reasons. Critics said he was behind the cancellation of the nation's only film festival in the summer of 2009. In November 2010, He undertook all Hajj-related responsibilities. In some government offices, his picture was added next to King Abdulaziz, King Abdullah, and Crown Prince Sultan. Crown Prince and First Deputy Prime Minister. Prince Naif was appointed Crown Prince and First Deputy Prime Minister by King Abdullah on the 27th of October 2011, 5 days after the death of his full brother, Prince Sultan. Shortly thereafter, he vowed that Saudi Arabia would never sway from and never compromise on its adherence to Wahhabi doctrine, which he stated was the source of the kingdom's pride, success and progress. During his time as Crown Prince, Naif brought about modernizations such as removing religious authorities who objected to the mingling of men and women in public spaces. Influence. Prince Naif's career was propelled by his full brother King Fahd. Under Fahd, the Ministry of Interior became one of the most influential bureaucracies in Saudi Arabia. Prince Naif served as a mediator in disputes between King Fahd and Prince Sultan. His King Fahd's health deteriorated. His power gradually diminished as well. As Crown Prince, Prince Naif was the most influential of the Sudari Seven. He delegated the day-to-day responsibilities of his ministry to his son, Prince Muhammad, and then Deputy Minister Prince Ahmed. Prince Naif had members of the Ministry of Interior placed in all overseas embassies. In 2003, he threatened to cancel certain business deals with the French government if the narcotics investigation of Nayef bin Sultan bin Fawaz Al Saud continued. When meeting with U.S. diplomats in 2009, he voiced support for aggressive activity against Iran after what he believed was a breach of the 2001 security agreement. He urged European nations to turn in suspected terrorists and asked for U.S. intercession. He said the most effective way to combat extremism was through Friday sermons. Various positions. Prince Naif served for a time as the Supervisor General of the Saudi Committee for the Al-Quds Intifada, which provided aid to Palestinian refugees. He headed the Supreme Council on Information, which oversaw the media and regulated the Internet in the country. He also chaired the Supreme Committee on the Hajj and headed the Ministerial Committee on Morality and the Ministerial Oversight Committee on the World Trade Organization. Views. Prince Naif was considered to be one of the more conservative but also pragmatic members of the Al Saud family. He viewed the potential erosion of the official Wahhabi Salafi doctrine as a diminishing of the core legitimacy of the state itself and resisted such moves, not from a pronounced sense of religious devotion, but rather a desire to maintain a firm grip on the levers of state power. In November 2002, Prince Naif said, "It is impossible that 19 youths carried out the operation of September 11, or that Bin Laden or Al-Qaeda did it alone. I think behind these events." Quote. He later proposed that Americans visiting the kingdom should be fingerprinted like visitors to the United States. According to leaked cables, Prince Naif argued for a tougher approach than King Abdullah towards the then Yemeni President Saleh in 2009. Leaked cables also argued that his views on Iran were more sophisticated and comprehensive than those of King Abdullah. His motto was, "No to change, yes to development." He believed that no change is necessarily in Saudi Arabia. Change means changing something that already exists. Whatever exists in the kingdom is already well established. However, there is a scope for development that does not clash with the principles of the nation. In a similar vein, in March 2009, he publicly stated that he saw no need for wider elections or women in government. After visiting Cleveland for planned health tests in March 2012, Prince Naif addressed the controversy over the participation of Saudi women athletes at the 2012 Summer Olympic Games in London from his residence in Algeria. According to Al Hayat, he said that women can represent Saudi Arabia at the Olympics as long as they do not break Islamic laws. His approval was conditioned on women competing in sports that meet the standards of women's decency and don't contradict Islamic laws, though even this concession seemed surprising. However, only a few days later, his statement led to other statements by Saudi officials. At a press conference in Jeddah, the head of the Saudi Olympic Committee, Nayef bin Faisal, explicitly stated that Saudi women athletes would not be sent to the Olympics. "We are not endorsing any Saudi female participation at the moment in the Olympics or other international championships." Quote. He further added that Saudi women taking part on their own are free to do so, and the kingdom's Olympic Authority would help in ensuring that the participation does not violate the Islamic Sharia law, though he did emphasize that this was in accordance with a previously stated position. It did seem a rebuff to Crown Prince Naif. Personality. Prince Naif, before being appointed second Deputy Prime Minister in 2009, was generally described as elusive, ambiguous, pragmatic, unimaginative, shrewd, and outspoken. According to leaked cables, he had a reputation of being anti-Western, but tended to do business if there were shared interests. It is further stated that his conservative approach did not reflect his personal religious personality. However, his conservative views allowed him to gain support from social and religious conservatives. He seemed to be reserved and even a bit shy. He was described as neither well-spoken nor articulate, and had a tendency to repeat platitudes in private as well as in public. He did appear to understand and speak at least some English. On the other hand, Prince Naif was considered by other princes to be one of the kinder members of his royal generation in his approach towards nephews and nieces. Prince Naif and his full brother and then Deputy Interior Minister, Prince Ahmed, were reported to pay massive bonuses to successful security officers. They both also had a reputation for honesty in using the security budget only for the stated purposes, not enriching themselves. Personal life. Prince Naif married 3 times. He was the father of 10 children. His first wife was Noura al-Faraj al-Subay. Later, they divorced. His child from this marriage is Jawahir, wife of late King Fahad's son, Muhammad bin Fahd, who is former governor of Eastern Province. Jawahir bint Naif was raised by her aunt Al-Jawara bint Abdul-Aziz. Al-Jafara bint Abdul-Aziz bin Musaid al-Jilawi was his second spouse. His children from this marriage are Muhammad, Noura, Saad and Sarah. Maha bint Muhammad bin Ahmad al-Sudari is another spouse. They later divorced. The children are Nouf, Nawaf, Michelle, Hafer and Fahd. In March 2013, lawyers for the Shangri-La Hotel in Paris won a legal bid at a court in Nanterre, near Paris, to have her assets in France seized, after she was caught absconding in June 2012 owing $7.5 million, having occupied with the entourage a 41-room floor for about 6 months. She is known to have bought 3 units in central Paris, and goods from her shopping trips around the French capital were believed to have been stored there, including leather goods, artworks, jewelry, and clothing worth up to $15 million. Illness. Prince Naif was said to be suffering from diabetes mellitus and osteoporosis as well as leukemia. In March 2012, he went to Morocco for a private vacation, then to Cleveland for pre-planned medical tests. This news raised some speculation about his health and Saudi succession. He returned to Saudi Arabia after staying in Algeria in April 2012. Prince Naif again left Saudi Arabia for medical tests on the 26th of May 2012. Although it was unknown where Prince Naif went, Prince Ahmed stated in Al-Watan on 3 June 2012 that he was well and in good health, and he will soon return to Saudi Arabia. After his death in June 2012, it was reported that Prince Naif had gone to Geneva on 26 May 2012 for treatment for a knee ailment. Death and funeral. On 16 June 2012 at about 1 p.m., Saudi state television reported that Crown Prince Naif had died. According to Reuters, he died in Geneva, Switzerland. A medical source in Geneva said that Naif died of cardiac problems while staying at his brother's residence there. His body was kept at the Geneva mosque before being taken to Jeddah. The royal court stated that his funeral would be held on 17 June 2012. It was reported that Crown Prince Naif's body was brought from Geneva to Jeddah. Funeral prayers were held in the Masjid al-Haram, also known as the Grand Mosque, in Mecca after sunset prayer, led by Sheikh Saud Ash-Shiraim. His body was buried in an unmarked grave in Al-Adiyal Cemetery in Mecca as per his wish on 17 June 2012. Major political figures sent their condolences to King Abdullah, including U.S. President Barack Obama, French President François Hollande, UK Foreign Minister William Hague, King Abdullah II of Jordan, Turkish President Abdullah Gül, and other leaders of Arab and Persian Gulf states. Legacy. On 6 July 2012, King Abdullah renamed the Qasim Regional Airport in Buraidah as the Prince Nayef bin Abdul-Aziz Airport. Honors and awards. Prince Naif was the recipient of several honors, including the Military Order of the Cloud and Banner by Taiwan, the Legion of Honor by France, the Al-Kawkab Decoration by Jordan, the Order of National Security by Republic of South Korea, and the National Order of the Cedar by Lebanon. In addition, he was awarded the followings: Order of Abdulaziz Al Saud, Order of the Liberator by Venezuela. Posthumously, Prince Naif was honored by the United Nations with the Outstanding Donor Award for the Special Human Settlements Program for the Palestinian people on 28 June 2013. Ancestry.